Okay, so we are going to continue to talk about finding the main idea and key details. So remember, the main idea is retelling the main idea of a text will help you understand what you read. So once you're able to find that main idea, it's going to help you better understand what you just read. So to do that, we have to find the main idea first, and we need to find key details in that text. So to practice that, let's look at, in our workbooks, let's look at these pictures down here. We're going to read this little story, kind of like a comic. Okay, so the title is called Life in the American Colonies. People had to chop wood for fuel. The second picture says, taking farm goods to sell in town could take hours. And then that last one is, everyone in the family had to work. Okay. So the next page is going to look like this. Do we see that? Okay. So now we need to think. We're going to use key details from that cartoon to complete this chart. So, looking at that cartoon we just read, who can tell me what the main idea is? What was it about? Yeah?
About they need to cut wood.
Okay, so who needed to cut wood? You're on the right path.
The person.
The people in the comic. So who are we talking about? Who can tell me in that title? It tells us. There's a clue. Life in the what? Life in the American colonies. Good. So, in this first one, we're going to write life in the American colonies. And again, if you can't see it, go ahead and move up. So looking at those pictures, does that look like something that happened in the past or something that's happening now?
Past.
In the past, right? Because it looks kind of, it's talking about what they used to do when they first came to America. So back in the day. Okay, and give me a thumbs up once you have that written. Alright, so we have our main idea, which is life in the American colonies. Now we need to use key details that help us support that it's talking about the American colonies. So let's look at this first one. What is one detail from the text that we just read? Does that? Right, so we're just going to put in people had to chop wood for fuel. So people had to chop wood, and again I'll move out of the way in a second, wood for fuel. What is fuel? Jesus?
It's like something that keeps you going.
Right, it's another word for gasoline or something that keeps something. Okay, so we have our first key detail, which is people had to chop wood for fuel. What is another key detail? Haley? Everyone in the family had to work, right? So it wasn't just one person in the family, it was everyone. So that they could survive. Everyone in the family had to work. Good. Okay, so now we have our last key detail. What is the last key detail that we can add here? So remember, key details are important facts from the text. What is another key detail? So we have people had to chop wood for fuel. Everyone in the family had to work. What is that last one? Let's look at those pictures. Yep.
that they use horses to take them.
Okay, so taking farm goods to sell in town could take hours. And it looks like they used horses to help them, right? Okay, so let me write that in. So taking farm goods. And again, it's in your book too, so that you can see it. To sell in town could take hours. Okay, so we have finished our chart. So our main idea, which again is mostly what the text is about, is life in the American colonies. Our first key detail, which is an important fact from the text, is people had to chop wood for fuel. Everyone in the family had to work, and taking farm goods to sell in town could take hours. And that is how we find the main idea.